They didn't say I could sing. Yeah, dog. If you know what that's from, I'm gonna tell you. This guy on TikTok, his name is Travis Scott. He goes around to random places in the public and finds an outlet and takes a nightlight and sees if it has power. And then after he goes, yeah dog, we have light. Yeah dog, and does a little dance. He goes, yeah dog. Yeah dog. It's like the what is it from SpongeBob? The dude who goes, no.
The power within. The power within. The power within.
Wait, let's try it. Yeah dog. Yeah dog. Yeah dog. What's that song? What?
Shakira, ¿eres tú? Wow.
Okay, that's enough. We're gonna get into these books. I'm reading 3 books. We're going to try to read 3 books. One that's going towards then days going into May. Reading yearly goes. And the other 2 are random. One I'm reading with my friend, and the other one I chose through a spin wheel. The first one is Wrath, the Fallen and the Faithful series. Yeah, dog. This one by John Gwen. Have no idea what the book is about. And then the second one is Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. I'm already on chapter 7 of this book, so I'm really excited. And the last one is A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. I'm on chapter 4. Don't know when I'm going to finish this book. I am planning to read this book like for the next year because it's a big book, and not that it's boring, it's just a lot of information for me to process, and it's not just like a story that I can like fall into and think it's my life, you know? So we're gonna read those books, and I'm gonna take you with me. Okay. If you're wondering what kind of aesthetic I'm having in the background while reading these books, it's listening to country music, because I listen to music while I'm reading. It's very soothing to me. And I have Queso in the background also playing video games, horror video games. Yeah. And then I have to get ready around 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna read up till then. But first I'm gonna get a snack. I'm gonna get some more coffee, and I already have water. First book, let's read A People's History of the United States and get that out. I'll probably read that till I have to go.
Soften up the mess, drop it in the water, let the daughter find her image with the rest. She'll be learning how to breathe, spinning through identity, reveal another pretty little scheme. Save her mind, hold her hand, and don't believe a
Okay, I finished the chapter. It took me 1 hour and 7 minutes to finish the chapter. I started on page 59 and it ended on page 75. I want you guys to look at how the font is on in this book. It's really tiny, and I don't read many books like that just because there's so many words, but I love reading books that are that font size because it makes me feel like I'm an adult reader, you know? But basically, so far throughout this book, chapters 1 through 3 were about slavery in Native Americans and how white people treated them, reacted to them, the way government was with that. And basically this is about people. This isn't necessarily like the history of America, like when Bank of America was, it is mentioned in this book, but how Bank of America was created, or like specific events, but mostly how people reacted to certain things happening in the government and things that brought the government to life. But in chapter 4, it's nothing about slavery. It's actually about taxes and the difference between poor, middle class, and the rich, and how the rich were always in some type of scheme to get their money, and how the poor reacted to them, not only by having riots and refusal to work, but also how, like, some events like the Boston Massacre happened, which I know the Boston Massacre, but I haven't heard it in so long that I don't know about these things, or like what happened before, what happened after. So it's really cool. The only thing I don't like about history books, which I think I would comprehend it so much better, is if things happened by the dates. This book it'll go from like 1776, right? And then it'll jump to 1649, and then it'll go back and then it'll say 1790. And I'm just like, whoa, why are we jumping here? I understand, like, and it doesn't even make sense because none of these things are connected. They are connected, but they're not connected in a way that make me go, oh, that happened, so years later this has happened, and years before that happened. That's what he's trying to do, but it just, it's not doing that for me. I would rather you be like, if you're going to talk about something that's the same thing, have it in the same thing, because it'll go back to like what was going on in chapter 2, but barely connect it. And it's just, I can't explain it. I can't explain I wish I could explain it better, but I have to read more of this book, because I guarantee he's going to be like that. This book is going to do that, the whole thing. I was also thinking that it just, the way the writer writes, you know how you were taught to set up a conversation, or like a focal point, talk about the focal point and have a conclusion, right? I don't know where this man is going. I have no idea where this man is going at all. Even in the chapters, it just, like I said, it's not organized. It doesn't feel organized. It feels like he's very much jumping from a train of thought. He's just going in. I don't know if, like, I'm guessing like a lot of people who write these type of books, they have an outline, they have like, I wish, like, at the back of this book, I wish there was maybe there is a bibliography. There's an index, but I don't think there's a bibliography. I wish there was a bibliography. If you don't know what that is, it's basically taking other people's work that they, like, when people write about things, they state their name and the sites that they got it from. They cite it. And that's basically, a bibliography is basically citing someone else. When you write a quote, you're citing from someone else. But you can also, with a bibliography, you're not technically citing, but you're basically summarizing and putting your own words to make your own statements. And he doesn't have that, so I don't really know where he's getting all of this information from. He'll put, like, he'll mention someone in the stuff that they did, or the stuff that they thought about during the time that someone rioted, or problems that were going on in the government. And then he'll put, well, he also, before, like, he'll put it as a timestamp that, how can I say this? Put it as a timestamp, like, he wrote this book around the same time he was thinking this. Like, that's cool, because now I want to go to other people, like, I want to go maybe read that book, you know. That's very cool. I like that. I like that, but, like, why are you having that as a timestamp? And also, to the conversation I was saying, the reason why I said this, it just doesn't, it's not really like, how do I know any of this is factual? And sometimes I wonder why my uncle gave this. First of all, did he read it? Second of all, why did he give me this book? Am I supposed to learn something from this book? Obviously I am, and I'm great that I'm reading it because it's something towards the government, but maybe this will give me an idea of like what to read, what actual facts should I like be taking in and supporting or not supporting, those type of things. And this is the reason why people write this stuff, is because you get to have these type of thoughts. But also, these are the type of books I like to read because it gives me a sense of like examining how writers are, because I also want to be a writer, or that's what I'm gonna have as my job or whatever. Now that I looked at it, because I'm making these videos and I'm also editing at the same time because it feels comfortable doing that, because I can be more factual with things. The bibliography that he has is not very long, which surprises me for how long this book is and how much information is in there, which not only makes me a little uneasy but also relieved that he has one. I want to say that with my original problem, feeling like this book is not ordered in a specific way, I still feel I still feel the same way. I still feel as though this is not an outlined writing. In some cases, people will say that's a good thing, because now it doesn't feel like it's homework or too literal, and you can read it because it's more personalized, or it feels more like someone's talking to you. When it comes to this topic and these kind of important things, especially with the fact that we are built on a history and government, I don't want that feeling. I don't want that feeling. I want it to be literal in every possible way. I want to feel like I just went to an arraignment and was stuck there to listen to the Pope of France speak, and had to listen to every word because my life depended on it. When it comes to these type of things, I want to be so serious, and that's all I'm saying. This book doesn't feel like it's serious. It feels like this man has just read some things and popped this out of his cooch. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Let's not take it too serious, because life is life. But if I'm gonna read this thick with these little prints of words, make me feel like I'm in a sermon, like I'm at a TED Talk. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
But it just goes to show you how different people work, and the book itself is good. It has a lot of information, but it bugs me when I'm reading it, because me as a writer and me as a person who likes to think about how people write, it teaches me more. I get a little anxious. So that's one thing. I'm going to continue reading, but I wanted to tell you that I finished the chapter. And it's 12. So I have about, it's 11:34. So I have about an hour and a half probably. That'll be at 12:34. And then I'll read at like 1:34. So I have like 2 more chapters I could probably read. And yeah, let's get into it. I'll probably read 2 chapters. No, I want to read another chapter and then come back to you guys. I hope you guys like this video. It's gonna be it's a long video.
You understand me. Walking down the valley.
I'm only 20 minutes in. I'm on page 85, so I've read 10 pages. Ooh, turn that down. And what got me thinking, I got to thinking as I'm reading, because I think a lot when I read, because I have an inner monologue. There is a lot happening in here, and one of the things that occurs rapidly and continuously is people uprising, people rampaging and discontent, and it all stems from the beginning. so far, like, one of the things is how the Declaration of Independence was made, and George Washington is president right now while I'm reading, and war was happening, and people thought that they would get a renewed status because they went to war, because they had to go to war. They were being made to go to war and be in the military. But that didn't happen, and a lot of people who were poor that went into the war were upset that they weren't getting paid, and so they revolted, and they went to the Capitol or whatever, and were doing what they were doing. And George Washington first did that, and first said okay and paid them. Then it happened again, and then people were shot, and they were actually what's it called, a stand fire or something. I don't know who's watching this, so I'm not going to get into too much of the detail, and I know my little brother's watching this, so I'm not gonna put that out there. But if you know what that is, like, if you get my drift, it's crazy, because it got me thinking again. That's connected to all this. That's actually happening in America right now. People, like, on the news and on TikTok, there was a thing that said it hasn't happened in a very long time, and they're doing that again to someone who's in jail. And it proceeded to get me thinking again about how people who were Nazis... Mom, skip this. I don't know. My brother's very into the government right now. How Nazis have gone out and walked the streets in a specific state, I'm not quite sure, and had their own protest against the way the government is in support of people who are of color, ranging across the world. And now people of color who live in the same state are doing neighborhood watch things and protecting themselves in a way, in reaction to people who support Nazis, and were holding up Nazi symbol flags and things like that. And in conclusion to what I'm saying, it just got me thinking that everything from the beginning has, from the Black Lives Matter, from the last time that it's been brought up, because Black Lives Matter in our generation, we know it as, like, some people know it as a big thing, but Black Lives Matter is a thing that's happened years before, right? And everything leads up from the past. And then it got me thinking, and the whole point of what I'm trying to say is, people who did the Nazi stampede or whatever, they weren't, like, this isn't just something that, like, they thought of and was like, yes. You gotta think, people wait, okay? You gotta think, and this is what scares me about government and people and everything, is people wait. And so far, this is what I'm taking from the book. People wait. They hold a grudge. This whole people with, I hate the word Nazi. That could have stemmed from 2019. Okay, and it just, reading this, like, everything is still happening the same. This is from the 1400s, the 15th century. The 15th freaking century. It's the 21st century now, okay? It baffles my mind, and which is why I don't get into government, which I never got into government when I was a kid, because there was a whole bunch of people who were like, oh, the government. Change and betterment and learning about it. I don't get it because I'm reading this book and I'm like, oh, that's still happening. I was reading in this chapter, what I said earlier in this video was that soldiers weren't getting paid. Soldiers get paid, but then they end up being homeless. Okay, homeless isn't the only thing that happens to soldiers. They also don't get a good job. They also don't get any money. They don't get any instances in a retirement fund and a 401k. You know, like, not everyone gets that. And then you got to think, not even just in America. Ray. And then I was thinking about, Kai Cenat's friend, Ray. And he was like, I hate where I live. And he wants to come here. Sir, you're just basically learning about here. You think it's all fun and games because you're with Kai. I mean, of course, like, he's like, they want him to go in the military. So it's like, whoa, like, we're saying that, like, from a person that, like, everyone dear and loves because, like, Kai put him on. But he wants to come here. Like, that thing can happen to us. And it just, that's why I don't get into it because nothing has changed. Nothing's changed. It's the same thing. Oh, I heard about that. And that's still happening. What do you mean you want to argue with me? The same argument that we've had since the 15th century. We're getting nowhere, my dog. We're getting nowhere between me and you. We'll never get anywhere. I tell my mother I'm not arguing with her, and it's probably not even an argument that we're having. Let alone let me argue with you, and you don't even live the same life I do. We're dealing with the same things from the 15th century. Bring us back to the 15th century, and I promise you we have different lives. We're in the same school, but I promise you we have different lives back then. Don't come to me. I'm not having a debate in class. I had a debate in class one time, and I'm just standing there while everyone is in argument. Everyone is getting real riled up, and I'm, you're like, can we actually all agree that it's the same thing? It's the same thing. My argument is not going to change your opinion. My argument is not going to change our circumstances. Me personally, I cannot help you. You cannot help me. You can make my life better, you know what I'm saying, personally. But are you going to change my outcome? Probably not. Unless you become a high official. And that's the only way where I'm like, okay, they can be in a government. Because if you're going to be a government official, I want to hear your opinions. But if you're not going to be a government official, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. This is why I don't talk politics. Shut your mouth. Okay? If you're not going to become a government official, someone in the government, if you're not going to school, we don't count a lawyer. I don't count lawyers. If you're not going to be up on that podium, if you're not turning into a governor, a mayor, someone of, I don't know. You're not going to become the president? I don't care. If you're practicing for that exact thing, let me hear it. Let me hear it, my dog. Let me hear it. Let me bounce my opinions off of you so you can be better. But if it's not that, let me learn on my own. Let me go on my own. Okay? Because I'm going to die, and I'm never coming back here. And if I am, it's going to be the same thing. Okay? Reincarnation, I could be an Asian woman. Okay? I could be in Korea. You know what I'm saying? They got different circumstances. I have no idea. Okay? I can live in Africa and have to sweep my floors with dung and make it all clean and secure in that hub. Because if you actually watch that and learn about it, they be on some shit. They be thinking, they be smart, okay? cheap. Okay? They strong-willed. I can't handle dung. I can't handle that. I don't eat grasshoppers. You ever see somebody make grasshoppers for snacks? Opens your world. Oh. Okay? I don't know. I'm seeing this man walk from Wisconsin or something all the way to Thailand. He's gonna have to walk through Afghanistan. Show me like that. Show me like that. Because if you're a people person like that, show me how you do it. Show me how you do it. Show me how you do it. And this is how I'm doing it. Okay? Okay. This is why I can't read these things for too long, because I be thinking while I'm reading, and then I can't, and then I'm just going through words. So I really had to get that out. Yeah. I'm glad you stayed.
Pack a piece of heaven for the bottoms of her feet. Teach her how to jump and how to stretch when she reach. Like the angels.
Okay, reading, I had this thought, and I don't really have a summary for this chapter yet, but I can have a few takeaways from it, or what I'm reading and what I'm thinking. And one of them is the ability that regular people can bring so many other people to have a protest, because this book doesn't use the word protest. It's really quite shocking, because you hear people do things about abortion and the death penalty and wrongful convictions and all of that. But it's not as broadcasted by who brings these people to oppose what is happening in their life. Like, the amount, like, there are so many people in this short span that I've read that are just regular people who are farmers, who are poor, people who are poor and who are considered poor, and literally like have less than other people. There's this one man in this book that I just read, and it made me think, because I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people that are able to do this. There's this man who wasn't getting paid from the military, and he was racking up debt from having his own land, and the government kept that in the bank and everything. They kept that in order and made sure that, like, they keep up with the fact that he hasn't paid his debts, and he left home, and, you know, was served with the fact that he wasn't being paid off with debts. And around that same time, there was a woman who was sick, who couldn't pay off her debts, and she was so sick, and, you know, debt collectors came and literally took her bed, and he was like, that's enough, and gathered 700 people to go to the court and to the judges and be like, we're not paying this, and then broke out people from the jail who were in there because they didn't pay their debts. It just, what? Like, that's amazing. That I care about. That is something that's like, wow. And it happens so many times. Like, there's so many uprisings, so many protests in this book that happens. And even though nothing changes in the history over the mist of time, people still do it. Now, I have nothing to say over if that helps or not, but it's just, how is that not interesting? How is that, it's not even interesting. Like, how is that not motivational, but it's something. And I just had to say that, because, like, if you read this book, like, there's so many times where this happens, and people do it today, but, like, back then, I'm thinking, yo, if you don't like this, you die. You know? And people were very set in their ways, so, like, they didn't have that much commotion. And the only time things were, when people would protest, or things are labeled significant events like the Boston Massacre. These things I did not think, these small little protests I did not think about, you know, and that makes you think, you know, people, that's why news and articles and everything happens, and it's really fortunate that we are able to do that, which is really cool as a writer to think about, because I write in like occurrences of when something significant happens and it makes me feel something, and then I describe it in a way that like brings other things into the world, but not technically so much as an article, but as a personal journal, in a way to express my own feelings, not specifically about that, but what it brings out in me. And that's really just interesting because people are so literal and they will speak about the actual fact itself and the happenings around it, and I'm just different. But, you know, there are good parts about this. I did just talk crap about it, but I do like this book, basically. I do like this book. So, yeah. Maybe you don't, I don't know if you guys care, but, hey friends. But yeah, I thought that was cool. I thought that was, I don't know why I think it's cool, because the same thing happens now, but it's just like, I didn't think that people back then did it. I thought they were just like, you know, that's the way it is, you know, and didn't have these uprisings. And then it was like the Boston tea of whatever, you know, what is it called? Here, I'll put it here, what I'm thinking of. Okay. This is the outfit. Let me move this a little bit to the middle. I'm going for cowboy, cowgirl. If you can tell, I have boots underneath. I would put them over, but that's not, I don't like boots over pants. I like pants over boots. I was gonna put my hair straight up for where I'm going, but I bulge at the top and I don't like it. And I also don't have a ponytail type of figure. I don't think it looks good on me unless I have a slick back ponytail. So we just don't do that. Jewelry. This is for my mom. This is for my pet that says my name. This is Jesus, obviously. Little angel, and a necklace and bracelet that I got from my ex that I very much cared about. Still to this day, it just didn't work out. Earrings that I got a year and a half ago from TJ Maxx. Don't know where I got these. These were clips for hair, but I pinned it to there, and I really like when earrings go to this. Septum, I actually took out about 6 months ago because I was like, I'm too old for this, and then I missed it like around the 4-month mark and tried to put it in a couple days ago, and it went through. So that's really cool. What's in my purse? I have my keys with my little beaver because I went to IUT. Keys, zodiac sign from Japan. Samuel Adams beer thing, library card, a bowling alley, and keys. Tampon, glasses, ID and card, little mirror, lip liner and lip gloss. Lip liner is from Boutique. Lip gloss is from CoverGirl. Let me see if I have anything else. Lucky pin that if I flip it says yes or no. And an old Jimmy Choo sample. I'm gonna wear an orange coat because it's chilly out and I'm always standing for the bus and get really cold, so I'm taking that because I always go without one and then I end up being really cold, so I'm doing that. I don't know if this, I'm like meeting an important person, so I don't know if this shirt is really right for me, but this blue shirt rides up here and I don't have any shirts that are important. I only have like black button down shirts and I'm not wearing all black. Can't do it. I'm really confused at what I should wear, but if I go like this, to me it's fine, right? To me it's fine. But then I don't want to wear a shirt that's like hiked up here. It's not really what I'm going for. I'm trying to think what shirt. So I'm gonna go upstairs and look and then come back.
Do and you gon' make it through now.
Okay, I'm back. This is the shirt that I had on underneath. Had a really fun time, whatever. I didn't feel like reading as soon as I got back because I was on the bus and I was looking at powwow dances. If you don't know what that is, that's a Native American place where a place where people who are Native Americans celebrate their culture and stuff like that, and have dances and stuff. And I was watching powwow dances anyways. They were all their gear, their feathers and necklaces and beads and clothing. And it really got me hype. It brightened my spirits. Even though, yes, books do, this just gave a different feeling. I started listening to some NLE Choppa, Big X The Plug, 1900 Rugrat, and J. Cole. And while I was doing that, it made me want to draw. So I drew this. I've had this idea of this, I just realized after making it, for years. 4 years I've always wanted to draw this. And I've always wanted to do it with painting, but I'm really bad with painting. But I just did a painting for a beer label and it was cute. Yeah, it was really good and I really like using it. So I used the brush from the library brush, turpentine or oil paint. That's what I did to use this, and then I used the smudge button that's at the top. So brushes and then the smudge button, and that's how I got all of this done. And I'm learning that I toned her if I was doing her makeup, if I was doing someone's makeup. So bronzer, highlights, you know, foundation, and I like using like a dark brown red deep tone. I feel like that's really cute so far. It's not as red as you see on the screen though. Like, it's really red on the screen, but it's not that red in person. I mean, it's red, but it's not that red. But for my first time, like really like trying to go deep in that area, I really like it. I don't really know what other, I guess I could have used orange. Orange would have been a better tone. Let me show you. I would have gotten that color, and I think that would have been better. So I'll keep that in mind next time. Yeah, so now I'm gonna start reading the next book, which is Behind Her Eyes, because I got that done and I was like, okay, I need to read that. And I'm only gonna read for a couple hours. I feel like this video, you're gonna see me go over the next few days, because quite honestly, this is just a goal to get back into reading and back into a series so I can binge a series. And I think that's going to be Wrath for me. I don't think there's any romance in Wrath or the Faithful and the Fallen series. But let's look it up. Is there any romance in the Faithful and the Fallen series? There's some romance, but I don't know if it's gonna go as deep as me clenching my jaw closed so it doesn't break from reaching the floor. So we'll do it. The romance is only a minor aspect. And I'm trying to get into like a little bit. I tried to read Babel, and I was not expecting for me to get smacked in the face with such literature, with such literacy, that I couldn't handle it. I like I guess I'm liking YA, but give it an adult YA where it's it's young adult, but make sure you're an adult reading it, you know? But you know, you don't gotta put too much thought into it, you know? That's, ya dog. Ya dog. You know what I'm saying? So, I want another series like that. I'm trying to find another series like that where I'm like, yes! And it's gotta be, the other thing is, I can't go in knowing that it's going to be a romance. I can't go in. I have to, when I'm reading a book, I basically have to know nothing about it. Like Wrath, I have no idea what that is about. Very excited. Very excited. And the fact that there's some romance shows that I'm not going to know the deeps and the dives. And I'm going to be holding my breath the whole time. That's what we need. So let's get into that, because the government, the history book, my brain was starting to get jambled. Rumbled. I couldn't handle it anymore. There's a time where I just give up, and this is how I felt.
Tell about the healer. Greater is the one within and call him as the leader. Teach her how to hold a pretty hand up to the sky. Never wait upon the giver, he'll deliver like a dealer. Take her higher, higher. Fly out the valley and the...
Look at my big knee. Before, when I was younger, I used to be able to I used to show that my one friend. I used to be able, I used to be able to make my ankle, because you know, you don't grow ankles until you're like 5 years old or something. Ankles. My kneecaps. You don't grow kneecaps until you're like older. My kneecap could go all the way over here. No lie. No play. No lie. I'm not playing. And then I could do it over here, but now they just formed. I ended up going to sleep again 4 hours later, and I woke up at 3. Well, actually I woke up at 1. Actually I woke up at 10, then I woke up at 12. And then I was supposed to watch someone from 12 to 3, and they never showed up. So now I'm just getting back to reading. This is gonna be a whole thing. But I'm still reading the same book. 3 people are in this book, 2 married people that are married to each other, and a woman, and the married man kissed her, and they worked together, and she didn't, the woman he kissed didn't know. And now these 2 are friends, but but only this girl knows that she kissed her husband, and that's where I'm at. And they both have a backstory, and I don't know which one of them is crazy.
Fire, take her higher, higher. Fly about the valley in the fire.
Y'all, I had to come to you and tell you something just happened in this book that made me want to read it. Because usually I'm a girl that likes to be bored. I like to be bored and surprised. I don't like to be too bored and not be surprised, because then I'm not reading the book. But I'm going to read it because I'm reading with my friend. Otherwise, I probably would have given this book up a while ago. But then the author just brought in this fact that I had no clue was going to be with the personality of this character. No idea. This character has a backstory that makes you think that because of the things that have happened in her life, she'd be boring. Like, she'd just go with the flow because she's done being hurt. You know what I'm saying? And now I worry for the other character. I worry for the other character, because what happens? Is this woman going to, like, slip her something to make her, you know? Or is she just going to, like, be a boss biatch and do her thing? Because I really didn't want to like this woman. I didn't want to like this woman at all. Because, like, the personality that it's giving, I'm not sure how to be comfortable with. Because, like, why are you why are you still with this person? And it's unforgiving. It's unforgiving because I was expecting to be bored this entire time, and now I'm locked in. If we were to put the correct thing, she clocked it, and now she's upset. And it's so early in the book. I was waiting for this thing to happen. I'm not shocked that it happened. I'm just shocked that it happened so early in the book. It's giving the book The House Husband. If you know that book by James Patterson, or with James Patterson, co-written or published by James Patterson, you know that when you find out what's really going on in such a small book, it happens so fast. And the feeling of knowing what's going on with that book, if you compare it to this book, it's giving James Patterson. It's giving eerie. It's giving, what are the next steps? So, yeah, I'm still early in the book. I'm going to read up to a certain page stretch because I do morning stretches, and I just haven't gotten up to do it because I was doing laundry and the washer didn't work. And I cleaned yesterday, and I do stretching in the morning, but I didn't feel like it. I actually made a song about Mojo Jojo, no lie. And then I'm going to get a shower, and then I'm going to read Wrath, because I want to spend my whole day reading that book and really get into it. And I want to give my friend time to like catch up with me if she does, because she's only read to page 2. How are you going to read and only read to page 2? That I'm not judging. I'm asking, you know? So I'm going to leave this book there for a little while and read Wrath and be really excited for that, because it's cuatro books. There are cuatro books. And if you don't know what cuatro means, I think I already said this. Books. I think I said that right. 4 books. Yeah. So we're gonna have fun with that. And I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna wear to work, because I also work 3 days this is the last day I'm gonna do this challenge, because I've worked 3 days in a row and they're all at night, and I don't know if I'm gonna read in the morning. If Wrath really gets me going, I'm gonna probably read, but there's not gonna be any recordings of it. I'll talk about those books in a separate video. Yeah.
Train her feet for running. Show her every door and how the windows let the sun in.
2 theories. I'm not going to tell you why I have these theories, because then that would be a spoiler to me. But I have a theory. I have a theory that the man killed her parents, set the fire to her house, and that killed her parents. Or the wife is so crazy that one day they were sleeping together, and the reason why he's so worried for her is because she's crazy, because like one time she was standing a foot from him while he was sleeping and was going to kill him with a knife. You know, that's that's where I'm teetering. That's where the line is being drawn right now. That's what's going on. I have this book is leading me to make these crazy ideas. I'm scared for everybody. My heart is pounding. I have so much anxiety, because what do you mean we're this? I've read 50 pages. I have to read 50 more pages, and I'm not comfortable. I don't like what's going on. Okay? That's all I had to say. I think I found the perfect cover song for this book. I think I found it. Because I like to pair a song with the book. And if I had to put one, this is what it would be. I'm gonna play it for you in 3, 2, 1.
Percocet, Molly Percocet, chase a check, never chase a bitch. Mask off, fuck it, mask off, mask off, fuck it, mask off.
We now return to our regularly scheduled program.
I just finished my stretching. I got a shower, got into new clothes. I didn't do my ab workout because I forgot about it until I made food, and I'm going to eat food, and I don't feel like doing a workout after I eat food. That's really stressful to me. I've had some knee problems and some joint problems for the last 3 years. It's getting progressively worse, and now I'm grateful I don't do sports anymore right now. I do want to set up running. I think I've talked about that last video. But right now, I gotta focus on some other things, so it's not gonna happen anytime soon. But I just got some canned ravioli. I know it's not the best, but like realistically, that's what I have. So I'm gonna eat some canned ravioli and get into Wrath. Still queso's in the background, music's in the background. I'm listening to K3 Radio, if you don't know who that is. I don't know how long she's been doing music, but ever since they did I don't know what it's called, when a whole bunch of artists go to like a room and they do like the thing, who did it last time? Uzi, I think Lil Yachty was there.
All of these bitches, they want me, but they get one night. Fuck, I give a fuck what you saying. Bitch nigga, no, I ain't playing. I'm by my fatty. Silent tip, I'm ready. Fuck up that nigga, if he turn out too heavy, I'm body.
New up and coming people. K3 is one of them. She's the one I like the most. She carries the axe with her.
My last day on earth, I just hope I die rich. You want my lifestyle, tell me what you gon' sacrifice for it. Grew up as a quiet kid, took time for me to talk my shit. Grew up with no money, took some time for me to look like this, dress like this, put some diamonds on my wrist. I flex on all my old hoes just to show them what they missed. Treat this shit like Death Note, put my ops on one big list. When I see them out, I'll pull my Glock, then blow a kiss.
Which is really cool. So that's who I'm listening to. And then I just added a song to my playlist from TikTok. This new song called New. It's like West or something. Like lives in the country, but he's writing like, I wouldn't call it, it's like indie rap. It's not indie rap, but like it's not full-blown rap. So yeah, I'm gonna eat my ravioli and then we'll get started on Wrath, and once I read for a couple hours I'll come back. What if it's my last day on Wrath and I die rich? That'd be it. That'd be it. You seen all those rich people in movies be like, oh heavens me, the tether of the world cannot be relinquished by just money, but by the philosophy of thought and process and the whole world of a new way. But till then, my daughter, take the money and explore the world. But don't distinguish it by the jewels you buy and by the hero you feel when you come walking down the street and give money to a poor man who's selling his oats and fruits and lather in the world of labor. I don't know where that just came from, but that was it.
Copy out the key and tell her this is for becoming. Even in the fever, baby, cry and get to running. And tell her that
I don't even know where you're sitting at.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I probably will like this book. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people up forward. There's a lot of people. I can't keep count. I told myself that while this story is going, I'll pick up on who was who, you know. But I feel like I'm reading a PhD doctorate research paper, and the only people that know what's going on are the people who study that topic, and I'm not that person. It's like when people have like these strange facts and they can just like utter every fact that they've learned. I can't do that. I can take down information. I can have a gist. I know my brain knows what's going on, but I sure as hell can't rebuttal what exact facts is going on. I don't know. And also, the story in the beginning is very boring. I'm always bored at the beginning of a book, especially a fantasy book. There's not much going on. There's no fights. There's a captive. You know, there's these two boys who are playing. Someone just got married. A king is talking to the captive. A brother is being brought into the I don't even know what it is. A group of men who ride. They give a description about the man who's being added into the sector, that he's worked so hard that he can stay on top of his horse for 12 hours on end. You know, those type of things. Give me the giant back. Give me back the giant. Where's the cauldron? Apparently there's a cauldron in here. Give me back. Why did you mention a queen? Why did you mention the queen? What I can't breathe. What do you mean? And Veridus, Krellis. Let me see. Who else is out here? Veridus, Ripa, Krellis, Corbin, Darth. These are the names. Let me see. Who else is in here? Let me see. Hold on. Nathar. Tenebrol. Aquilius. Fidial. Lamar is in here. Brennan. Which if you've read the Empyrean series is a name that you'll be familiar with. There's Denion, and I'm wondering if this is based off of a culture, which would be really cool, because there have been plenty of authors who use other people's culture and use it wrong, and then have audiobooks and they don't read it correctly, and people are really mad. There's Lycos, Pelset, Nurin, Penos, Thalin, yeah. Denion, Dinon, Realms, Geraldine. Like, these are all in the span of 2 pages. What? Courser, Galley. What is that? Where are we? Vinthalin? That's brought up. Like, I'm here in Tenebrol. I'm scared. I'm scared. There's too much going on. And you must be bored at this point. You must be bored. You might not be bored, but if you're bored, I'm bored. There's too many people. There's too many people. I can't do it. I'm talking about these people, but when I tell you, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. And there's been like 4 kings introduced, and no one goes into one of them. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can keep up. So we're gonna read some more, and I'll tell you how it goes in the next clip. Oh! I have come to the conclusion that some of you may be thinking, well, that's how a book goes. And this is the exact thing that I think that you guys would say to me if you could actually speak to me through the screen. And some of you may not, but those who are very open about what they think would speak this very clearly. And here we go. This is exactly what you would say. You would say, "This is a cow farm. You're gonna have cows outside." That's exactly what I think you would say. Okay? All right, I'm done reading. And here we go. So, what I think. So, I'm done reading, obviously, and I probably won't read anymore. But here's what I've gotten so far. I think I know who the main character is. I think I know the characters that are going to help the main character. I think I know who dies. I think I know how the magic works, or why the series is so long. And I found out what culture the book is. It's Norse mythology, Celtic cultures, and ancient European history. I know a little bit more about Celtic than out of all of those three, because tarot, if you know, and spiritualism, they have a lot of how do you say, a lot of information or research that you could do that is in Celtic cultures. If you don't know what Celtic is, it's Celtic. So yeah, I think in this book, the two things that I'm interested in seeing if I'm correct is what kind of book this is, obviously, but I think that I'm hoping that this book has a kind of character development compared to Uhtred in The Last Kingdom, and the type of drama dynamic between the world building in Game of Thrones. I'm really excited for that, because as much as we all love the characters in Game of Thrones, or some of the main characters, the story really lasted because of how much stuff or what was going on due to the other characters, whereas all of this stuff was happening in The Last Kingdom, but it was all happening to the main character, and you wanted to see how the main character would act and get his act together, or how those things played out and brought him to his success and those things. So that's what I'm basing this off of. I'm feeling like that's going to be really good. I looked up some TikTok videos. I didn't look up too much because I didn't want to get any spoilers, but I think John Gwynne is a good author. I haven't heard any or seen any bad things said about him, so that's a plus. I've also seen the kind of aesthetic it's giving. I've seen a couple, which makes me understand what the dynamic is for this book. I think it's going to be a lot of challenge-based things when it comes to magic. Like, the main character is going to have to do things in order to get things done with people who consume or use magic. So that's really nice. As for the other things that do not have to do with this book, out of all of these books, I like Behind Her Eyes the most, just because it's not based off of history, like realism stuff. It's not a lot of facts based. It's more of like, I can get into another realm. It is a lot of drama that I don't like when it comes to bad drama. Like, there's like fictional drama, and then there's like real life drama. I don't want real life drama. And A People's History of the United States is real life drama, and as much as I'm interested, I'm not entertained, you know. And this one, I haven't read enough to be entertained. I will not be reading the Faithful and the Fallen series so fast, because if the rest are not audiobooks, which I'm too lazy to find out, if they're not audiobooks, I do not want to read the first book so fast that the pacing is messed up, because if I read the first one so fast, I want to read the next one so fast. So I'm taking my time reading it. So right now, before I look up, there's that, you know? So yeah, I really enjoy this, but I will not be reading more books at multiple times. I will finish Behind Her Eyes first, and then I will get into the Faithful and Fallen series next, maybe. I mean, now that I found an audiobook, I definitely will be reading it, just because I love a good audiobook. I love immersive reading. I love reading a book while listening to it, so that's gonna be it. But till then, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna do my thing, just because I've read for so long and for the past couple days. And as much as I love reading, I'm expecting calls. I want to watch Queso, because I've just been having him in the background and missing all of these good videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. Subscribe. subscribe. If you don't, that's okay. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Really love that. And you'll see me. I'll see you. Well, I won't actually see you unless I know you, but hope you enjoyed this video. Eat that ravioli. What's that song? What's that go? Yummy, yummy. You know that song? Put that song with ravioli. Ravioli, ravioli, yummy, yummy. Ravioli, yummy, yummy. You know what I'm saying? All right.